My son started here. He was class 2007. So he started running track, and back then there was no facility. We didn't even have the stadium. There was nothing. And so one day I just came to practice, and I watched them practice, and I started talking to the coach and said, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Yeah, things good." So it looked like you guys probably need some help. They were like, "Yeah." So the next year I was like, "Okay, well if I'm freed up next year, I'll come in and see what I can do to help you guys out." So I came in the next year and we started small changes off the bat, and then 2010, my son graduated, my daughter came here, and then we got to track in 2010. I always say, once we got to track, then it was apples for apples, because none of the big winning ever came until we got to the facility. Once we got to the facility, now I can train a hurdler just like they can train a hurdler at Foston or Seaver and Wright. I can train the sprinters, I can train the relays just like they would be. Once we did that, that was it. The football field was great, but we didn't have a track at all. We were doing baton exchanges in the parking lot. The first year that we used the track was 2010. That was the first year the girls went up back. After my daughter left, the administration wanted me to stay, so I said, oh, okay, I'll help out. It went from being here like maybe 5 years now. I've been here like 20 years now.
Yeah. I'm a teacher in the building, so I work in special ed. I had previously coached. I was the head coach for track at a different school, and I was transferred here, started teaching here, and I mean, Daryl and I had known each other just from crossing paths from already being coaches.
Okay, so team titles. So I know the girls have won 11 up-back championships in track and field. The boys have won 4. In cross country, we've won 6 regional titles. The girls have won 2 outdoor states in track and field. They have won indoor states once, the boys have won indoor state once, and the boys and girls have both won cross country. Well, we talk about the culture, developing a culture where the coaches are very well knowledgeable in their sports, in their activities. And also, I think we do a really good job when we first get the new kids in. We do a really good job of evaluation. And to me, that's the key. Evaluation early, you find out what the kid is, what the athletes are strong in. And so it's that way you're not putting someone who maybe would have been a good sprinter and you're trying to make them into a mile runner, or someone who was a thrower who should be a thrower, you're trying to make them a sprinter. So we go through this nice evaluation process, try to do a good job of getting evaluated. And once we get evaluated, then we start the training process. And the other thing is we always max our schedule out. Our schedule is always full, so we're always going to at least 4 invites. So the kids are always getting lots of experience, and we always say there's no substitute for experience. So by the time they get to the championship meets, a lot of times they've already been through some invite meets that are going to be harder than what they face at the state meet or the regional meet. So they're a lot more calm, they're a lot more relaxed, or they have more control over over what we call pre-race anxieties. So they're more focused.
Obviously you have your returners. You have friends of returners who have, through the grapevine found out about the program and are interested. Then you have kids who we have a lot of kids who are athletes in other sports that might not have a home in the spring. And it's like, oh, well, let me try track and field. Or you have kids who are track runners in the spring who don't necessarily have anything to do in the fall. Let me go run cross country. The U.S. is the only country that calls track. Everywhere else calls it athletics, because you have to be an athlete to be able to participate in all the events that are within the scope of track and field, and that can train you for your specific sport.
I know we have one boy right now, he's a Division III All-American in triple jump, Mikhail McGraw.
He just won Division III Nationals.
Yeah, he just won Division III Nationals. And then Caitlin Bob, she was our multi-state champion here. Now she just won the ACC 400-meter dash, and right now she went to regional, so now she's gonna be running at the NCAA championship in Oregon come this weekend.
Division I.
Yeah, she's at Virginia Tech. The track program, mostly, I'm gonna say we're mostly based around probably hurdle, sprints, and then the field, like that. So normally what I always say, to win a championship, like the up back, I break it down into 6 different events. We have sprints, hurdles, we have relays, we have the jumps, which is the 4 jumps going to the pole vault, and we have the throws, and then we have the distance. Most of the time, to win, if you win 3 out of the 6 or 4 out of the 6, normally you get 9% chance of winning. So most of the time we always win at least the sprints, the hurdles, the field, and maybe like the jumps. And very, very rarely do we ever win the distance.
It's great that we have a good network of coaches on our staff that are so well versed in we're also students of the game. So like while Daryl is very well versed in hurdles, I may be well versed in throws. We're also actively working to better ourselves every day in not just our events that we specialize in with our kids, but all of the events that are going on. And all of our coaches on our staff are like that. The same thing is the kids. We've been blessed to have a network of kids that have bought in from day one. And when your core, like your nucleus of kids, your leaders per se have bought in from day one, it's a trickle down effect.
This past year, this has been the best year we've ever had. In fact, like I said, it's probably been for a school year period, it's been probably the best year any team in the state has ever had. Nobody's ever won 5. There have been several schools that have won 4 championships. I mean, they maybe won cross country, maybe indoor, maybe outdoor, but no one's ever won 5 state titles in one calendar year.